Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Owl Show. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and of course, I am sitting here with the beautiful Miss Queen B, and we are live tonight on the Owl Show. It is Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. We weren't here last week, but we are here now. So welcome, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in, as you have done every week for the past, I don't know how many years. So, Queen B.
Yes.
We are in the middle of everything. So I want to know, how are you doing? What's going on with you? What's new? I feel like tonight is the tired version of Al. Physically tired, mentally tired, emotionally tired. You name it, just no energy whatsoever. At least, you know, that's how I'm feeling right now. But I want to know what's going on with you. How you been?
No real complaints.
Yeah.
No.
All right. How are you? Listen, we are in a time period that is going to go down in history books, right? So we will be a part of history. We will be a part of history that, you know, as we say all the time, that people are going to be studying in college, you know. Some of our, maybe not our children, because they might be out of school by the time they get the coursework together, right? Mm-hmm. But the generation soon after them is going to be, you know, studying the effects of the pandemic. Are we living through a civil rights movement right now? Is that what's happening? Are we in the middle of history, the little bit of Black history that we learned in school? Are we in the middle of that right now?
I mean, if we write about it, if they allow it into the school system.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So see, that's my question. So if we are in the middle of all of that, that means there is a lot going on right now.
Right.
A lot going on right now. And with that being said, the psychological effects of what's happening right now, you know, like, how are you really doing? Tell me how you're really doing right now. That's what I want to know. I mean, I know we friends and we talk, but I want people to be honest with themselves, and I want people to be real with themselves, and maybe we can lead the charge with that.
So honestly, I think I will tell you this. I am an extrovert. Anybody that knows me knows I'm an extrovert. I don't feel like after this I'll be that. I think it's been too long for me staying in the house. It's been too long for me not to really socialize. So I don't have it in me no more to socialize and be out and about and do whatever. This has totally changed me. And if I might be honest, it's totally changed. It just totally has changed everything about. I mean, you know, summertime, when I think about it, we would be doing what?
Vacation.
We'd be doing everything. And you know, I look back in my photos and thank God I live vicariously through myself, you know. But I don't see me going back to normal Basima because it just, with the fact that I work from home, with the fact that I um every day it's just it is days where I just don't go out the house at all. I think, to be honest, I've driven my car maybe 10 times.
Wow.
And it's just honest. If I be honest, it's like not and you know what it is for me during the time. I think I lost a lot of people. So losing a lot of people just mentally already gets you whatever with the things that's happening. I know like CNN is my, my news or whatever, but I've been trying not to even watch that because every time I turn around, I'm gonna stop turning around, but every time I turn around, it is a loss of something. It is police brutality. It is the COVID numbers. It is the deaths of COVID. It's just all of it. So mentally, I think, and we're transparent for the most part. Mentally, I've got to, I've got to change some things. I've got to, like, I have to be told right now, go out the house, get out, go, whatever. It was nothing like I don't. Remember, we don't dress or do anything like we didn't. So literally, even my dresses changed, like leggings, sweatpants, all types of stuff. And I know that's for everybody, but
Can I just say something real quick though?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna sound real cheap and cheesy.
Yeah.
I have an obsession right now with cotton booty shorts from Five Below.
Sounds good to me.
No. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I know they cheap.
But that's like me with Walmart and Target.
The material is so soft, and it's the little shorts with the drawstring. Now, clearly, I'm not wearing them outside the house nowhere because I'm 41. Like I don't even need to wear them on the deck to take the garbage out because like that's just not
I do.
It's not a good look for the rest of the world. It's for the people in this house. But every time I do get in the car and go out, I am in Five Below parking lot buying $5 booty shorts. What is wrong with me?
Now, I went through my phase of just buying pajamas as well. I went through my phase. Like, I think I have every to a point where I went in Walmart and Target and was like, I have all of them. Like, that's enough.
But they so comfortable, though. They just so comfortable. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. So my what can I say? Just everything has changed. Everything's changed for me. Everything's changed. I'm just not. I'm definitely not who I was. I will say that.
That is that's deep and that is real.
Mm-hmm.
So as always, thank you for your honesty with that because that's deep. That's really, really deep. For all of this to change your personality somewhat. Your personality, not necessarily your character, but even your likes and dislikes or wants or needs or that's deep. That's really, really deep.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
Just okay. I know that.
How about you?
Yeah, I know that. I think about a month or so ago. I'm sorry, everybody. I know we live, but my children are texting me to Zelle them money while I'm live doing the show right now. I think for me, I hit the rock, the ceiling or whatever that I had thus far, about a month or so ago. Towards the end of June, right before the furloughs were going to happen for my job, I had hit a point where it just seemed like nothing was right.
Okay.
And it seemed like nothing was right, but I couldn't escape from it. And it seemed like everything that I had worked for, relied on, or enjoyed was changing.
Mm.
And you know, I'm clearly I'm good with change because I'm queen of reinvention. You know, I pride myself on that as a life coach that, you know, reinvention is necessary. But I just felt like everything was kind of just being snatched from me at once. And it got to a place where I started to just feel sad on a daily basis.
I
Um,
there too. Yeah.
yeah, and that's not normally me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at all. To just have any emotions consistently below being even killed just is not me at all.
Definitely.
But I had found myself in that space, and I was like, okay, what do I do? Because it's not necessarily getting me back, it's rolling with the punches and creating a new me.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do I do that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept trying to figure out how do I do that because I can't stay here emotionally, you know. That's for me at once. Creating a new. So I was like, okay. And so yeah, it got a bit rough for me. I feel like now I'm starting to come through it, and not necessarily because anything has changed, because
I was about to
externally,
say like what? Yeah. What made you? What made
no.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. No, nothing in my external has changed at all. To be honest with you, um, I it's I feel like it's I had to figure out ways internally to adjust, and I had to be okay that this time period I don't have to land on anything and make any strong or stern decisions,
Mm-hmm.
but I can be okay living through the fact that this is an adjustment period. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, I can be okay with uh, the fact that, okay, this isn't this anymore. That's not that anymore. This here is transitioning. This is changing. Even my role here in this house and in my relationships where I'm used to being in a certain position. Now that is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all of it. And I have to, instead of me fighting against it or not liking it or trying to scurry to do something else, I don't have to do that right now.
Right.
I don't have to do that right now. I don't have to figure it all out right now. I can be okay just in the change, you know?
I think that's the problem with me. It's just this year is going by fast but slow.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that I'm used to a certain pace. I'm
Mm-hmm.
used to always going on, being on the go or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Move.
move. What I look forward to in this year, everything changed.
Yeah.
You know how it's almost like tell God your plan and watch him laugh at you. It's like we
Yeah.
had plans to do so much.
Girl.
And we walked into 2020 not knowing that 2020 would look like this,
Right.
you know? And that to me I think has been the most challenging thing is to literally wake up one morning and life was
Is
totally different.
different.
And in the beginning, I was literally on some I thought that I literally thought that, um I thought that things would change. I was like hopeful still. I'm like, oh, the kids will probably graduate. This will blow over. And when it didn't blow over,
Mm-hmm.
and life really was like, it looks like it's not changing, and it looks like it's not going to change by the end of the year. And it's looking like all of 2020 in March. And we were hopeful. You know what? I'm lying. I was not. It was something that happened when I came. I know if you remember, but when I came into 2020, it took me a minute to
Yeah.
get adjusted. I
Yeah.
remember calling you saying, I don't know what it is, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something. And I remember, you shooting me a text and me going to New York and then being like, all right, I'm signed on. But I knew it was, for whatever reason, it was an uneasiness in me about 2020. I was
Yeah.
like, and you was like, I can't wait until you get a handle on what it is. And I said, I don't know what it is. I
Yeah.
couldn't describe it. So then for months later, for me to finally get acclimated, and then for months later for this to hit, I'm like,
That wasn't even months. That was like weeks.
yeah.
Yeah, like that was weeks, to be honest with you.
And just life, I think, has changed. I think life has changed. I think life has just literally changed for everyone and everything. And we've
So
watched
what
it.
did so let me interview you today. Well, look, for the next 3 minutes.
Right.
So Queen B, what do you look at differently now? Wait, shout out to Jason. Wait, shout out to Jason Edwards from Beards and Baldheads. I did watch your show last night. Interesting topic, Jason. We'll come back to that one another day. But go ahead, Queen B. What do you look at differently right now?
I'm gonna be honest, life.
Just
Like,
all of it.
all of it, because I watched people that I thought would be here for a very long time lose their life. I thought that part, to me, I don't think I'll ever understand. Like, I'll not ever understand, but just I'm baffled.
Yeah.
I'm still baffled.
Yeah.
And I don't know, stop me if I'm wrong. Like, you ever want to cry about so much but can't? Like, you want to cry, like you have it in you, like there's hurt and there's pain and there's uneasiness and there's anger and there's so many just emotions, and you want to cry and you can't. Like, I
June.
can't find a tear.
I call that June 2020.
Like, that's my, if I could do a summation of my emotions right now, it's like you want to cry. You want to cry about it all. You want to be like, oh my God, what is going on? What's happening? We're losing people. Oh my God. Jobs. People are losing jobs, and just not people. Us losing people. Let me get off of that topic for a minute. But people are losing jobs. People are losing houses. People are unable to pay their rent. People are hungry. Like, it's all of that, and I think that's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. That it's like you feel a plethora of emotions. You feel for these parents that had to homeschool their kids, and I know people are like, "Those your kids," but it changes a lot.
Yeah.
Like, these people still have to work.
Yeah.
And they still have to provide, and they still have to do whatever. And then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, like, I have so many emotions. Like, during a pandemic, people would lose their lives. Black Lives Matter, protests, people coming up missing, Wayfair in their, accusations that they are sex trafficking children. It's
Wait, who's sex trafficking children?
It's a whole big thing about Wayfair. You gotta
let me know this, because I just ordered some lights from there for my backyard for the pool. So, like, you need to let me know these things.
Well, you might get a child with your lights. I don't know.
You know what? We're not doing this today. We not doing this today. Like a whole child?
Yeah, they were. I gotta send you all this stuff, but they were just
Please
saying.
Do so we could talk about that here, because I don't even.
Yeah, they were saying that so certain things were labeled, and for Wayfair, certain things were labeled as the two girls that have gone missing, and their names are actually the item of that one of the items, and it's overpriced. So they're trying to figure out, like, what is that? And it's not just those two. It's a bunch of things. So right now, I think they're under investigation. So maybe buy what you can.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like I think my stuff gets delivered tomorrow, but I'm done. That's it. I did not know. And I've been here watching CNN and you know what I mean? I did not know.
Yeah, it's a whole big thing. I was pulling up now so I could just kind of tell you about it, but it's a whole big thing about, this theory of child trafficking.
Child. Okay. Well,
It's a part of the Pizzagate conspiracy. So it was furniture. It was furniture, and many of the the children that are reported missing in 2020, their names are labeled as the item. It's just
so it's
weird.
like a sofa named Crystal or something.
Right, and Crystal's
Shout
missing.
out to my cousin Crystal, or like a chair named Michael, or wow.
They have the names of the missing children. So the
Wow.
cabinets, throw pillows. So
Child.
and then wait, this is the thing. So each of the items are just under like 10,000 or 14,000, which made it suspicious because they're high price for a basic piece of furniture. So that is what. So one of them was a shelf, and the shelf's name was Annabelle, and it was $10,899. Yuritsa Castro, she's missing. The storage bin was like 13,000. It just doesn't make sense.
Girl, I did not know. All right, I'm definitely going to look this up. So in my timeline, so Rajan, shout out to Rajan, he was saying, yeah, you have to look it up. They had high price items worth nothing, costing 15,000, and he was saying 100,000 children go missing a year in the U.S. He feels like celebrities and politicians are wrapped up in child trafficking. Well, we already know celebrities and politicians. I just watched the Jeff Epstein story on Netflix. I finished that one off last week. But to get back,
did anybody figure out why all those, like, a lot of celebrities on house arrest, like Ellen?
She on house arrest?
Well, she camouflaged she had when she was filming from her house, she had a ankle bracelet on that was camouflaged by like sweatpants and stuff like that. So I heard that she was up for something. Her and Oprah.
I guess my problem is I have not been paying attention to these celebrities at all. If my TV is on, it's either CNN or Netflix. And I haven't really paid attention to them otherwise. I think we are definitely so just to get back, to our topic, what I was saying, what has changed for you. I think for me, my outlook is that the lid is going to come off of a lot of things right now because it has to. Okay. We are at our wits end with everything. So, whether you believe in religion, Bible, blah, 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 whatever it is that you believe in, even if you just believe in time and sowing seeds and reaping, and there's only so much bad that can happen before things are going to start to be pulled away and before the lid is going to come off of things. So I feel like right now there is a lot of exposure. And I feel that a lot of the old regime that has been going on, whether it be political, whether it be whatever the case, I feel like is coming out. And I don't think we're even halfway through all of the things that are going to happen in this time period. I don't even think that we are close to the other side of this. Everybody keeps talking about the new normal. And even on CNN earlier today, they were talking about scientists were saying it might be 2020 before we are back to I'm sorry, it might be 2022, the summer of 2022, before we're back to a semblance of how things used to be. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Will it really even be by then?
Right.
I think there's a lot that is going to go on. I think there's a lot that is going to happen, and I think some things good, but I think there could potentially be some good that's going to come out of a lot of it. But I think this is really, I think this is really an era, and I think 2020 just really started a decade of change for us as human beings. When we talk about finances, when we talk about politics, when we talk about relationships, when we talk about what we hold dear, morals, values, all of that, I believe all of that is now going to go through a shift. Right, Rajan? It's a reset. And it's a reset in everything. In everything. It is a reset in everything. And because of how most of us are used to living our lives, it is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people. And for those that are able to be here, and for those that are able to survive it, it is going to be a very uncomfortable transition for a lot of people. And like I said, there may be some good on the other side of it for some. For others, they may come to an end, whether it is medically, whether it is control. Every dog has its day, and sometimes
I think
every time your day has to end.
I think that there has been I said this to my daughter the other day. I said that 2020 is definitely the year of exposure,
Yeah.
exposing whatever you think that you're hiding or have gotten away with. I do feel like it's an exposing year. It is. So careful what you did in the last 2 years, because whatever you did is gonna come back. I do feel like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. You I think we all as human beings, period, should tread lightly. I think a lot of the old attitudes that we used to have about a lot of different things, you should really begin to tread lightly. If those attitudes weren't rooted in healthy morals and values. You understand what I'm saying? I think we really need to be extremely cautious with that, because like you said, things are changing. Things are different, man. Things are different. And it's to a point where I'm starting to see every aspect of life a lot differently right now. Every aspect of life a lot differently right now. I want to know, what's your silver lining throughout it all, because we got to hold on to something, right? So what's your silver lining throughout it all? For everybody who just turned in, first and foremost, thank you guys for tuning in to BKS1 Radio, the Owl Show. Of course, it is your girl Chanel with the wonderful Miss Queen B, and we're just having a real life adult discussion given the current climate that we are all living through. And we're going to get into some more topics. Of course, we are discussing CNN and Wayfair, and we're going to get to Will and Jada and all of that eventually. But right now, we're just talking about just the adjustment period that we are currently in, and how you all are adjusting. But Queen B, I was just asking you, what is your silver lining at this time?
I'm prayerful and hopeful. I don't have one thing, I'll say. I don't have one thing. But my motto is always that, it always works out. That's always been my motto. Like, regardless of whatever, we all go through as people, it always works out. And I think that my silver lining is just that. I'm prayerful and I'm hopeful that things will get better, that things will change. Um, um, that's it. I have nothing else. I just stay prayerful that, and I have to be patient. I have to be patient in it
Yeah.
all. I have to be patient because if I know that it all works out, then I have to be patient with every single thing. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, I don't care if you believe in Buddha, if you call God by the name Allah, if you call him God, whatever you call him, and whatever he or she or it is to you, whatever entity God is to you, you just have to hold on to whatever faith you've established. And I think that's what I do most of the time. And don't get me wrong, it wavers sometimes, but at the end of the day, I know, again, I always say it always works out. So it will work out. So this world changing and the way it is and what it is, the one thing that I'm glad about is that we did get back to being a family. If that is not one thing, like just being able to spend time with kids and being able to cook, clean without having to leave the house or just be on the hustle and bustle. So I think that's why I think it's hitting me harder, because now I can literally feel, how, and just let's just be honest. When you work like you do, you really don't have time to sit, you know? You really don't have time to sit and think or sit and just do things. And I think for me, now that I'm stationary and I'm not moving and I'm whatever, it gives you time to really work whatever out in your head that you have in. French fries. I can't with you.
Sorry,
I'm
my
drinking
son.
water.
My son, shout out to my son who just made me a meal because I have been sitting upstairs doing interviews in my home office starving. And like you were talking about family.
Yeah, I think family means a lot more and is a little difficult. I mean, a little different. So,
I think one of my silver linings has been you got to remain good. You got to you got to remain good at heart. And you got to remain good at heart because none of us know what's coming next. None of us know what's on the other side. And there's too much happening to continue to chance it.
Not to be on. Yeah.
Right. So so when I say some of the old attitudes and regimes that we have been used to living by, we can't do anymore because we can't afford to. You can't necessarily afford to write everybody off anymore. You can't afford to just be mean and have attitudes and have that negative toxic vibe anymore. You can't afford to walk around with that negative energy that is going to continue to keep you down anymore. You can't afford to hold these grudges and this envy and this jealousy and all of that negative energy that stores up, that gives people heart attacks and stress. Like these are things that we can't afford to have anymore. Like even just thinking about your brother or sister in a negative manner of wanting them to not achieve or wanting them to not have or just not caring about them in general.
Yes.
We cannot afford to do that.
No.
The unfortunately, the bad rap that we got is African American females being on reality shows and constantly beefing and bickering and fighting and hating on each other and all of that. That frame of mind, that frame of thought, and even monetizing that has to change. That has to stop, because we honestly can't afford that anymore. We can't afford to still be somewhere fighting and pulling somebody's hair. We can't afford. And then it's like, with so many of us, we are in a time period where anything could happen to anyone at any given moment. People are dropping dead. People are dropping like flies. Flies. Yeah. I don't want to go to another Zoom funeral. I done been to like, I don't know how many in the last couple of weeks.
Every
you know
time
what I
turn around, I just told you I'm gonna stop turning around.
Stop
but
turning
every
around.
time I stop turning around. Every time I turn around, like literally, it's getting to me where such and such died today.
Yeah.
And then I gotta be sad, and then such and such died today, and then my aunt died here, and then my step grandmother died, and then just I gotta it's unreal, and then somebody's husband died, and then this, you know what I mean? It's been ongoing. So I totally understand what you're saying. We don't have the luxury that we once had before, right? We don't have the luxuries that we once had before, where we could beef with somebody and be like, I'm gonna get right back
later.
It ain't no get
later.
Right back.
No.
So we gotta be mindful.
You don't have it.
Yeah, we
you have to be very mindful of that. You have to be very mindful of that, because we're in a whole different cycle in this world right now, and we ain't in one where time is our best friend anymore. Where you feel like, what's the song? Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Right.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's not. So when I mean like a lot of attitudes have to change about a lot of things, like we gotta break out of certain frames of minds. We gotta break out of certain thoughts, certain schemes, we gotta break out of that. It's time. It's beyond time. It's beyond time. And it's like I said, I feel like this is just the beginning, and I don't feel like it's going to be over anytime soon. Right. And I feel like it is every single area of life. I don't feel like one area of life is not going to be touched. I feel like every single area of life will be touched, will be explored, will be sifted through, and all you can really have throughout this entire time period is knowing in your heart that you are a good person throughout.
Right.
That's it. You can't build up enough money. You can't build up there is not anything that you can do that is going to save you from the transition.
Absolutely.
Nothing. And I think with the way everything started, everything was taken away from us from the very beginning, and it was like from onset, it was like, wait, I can't go outside, I can't go here, I can't do this, I can't make money. This area where I'm used to making money is different now. Relationships started changing either for better or worse. Families started either changing for better or worse. And it was like, wait, you had to take a step back and evaluate everything. And not just as an adult and in maturity, or not just in a life transition, but just everybody had to take a step back and evaluate everything.
Right.
I'm going to use that to transition, because we wouldn't be a live talk show if we didn't even mention this whole entanglement thing. That became the
word of 2020.
Is it the word of 2020, the word of July, the word of this week? I'm not sure exactly how long.
we gonna be
It'll
using
go
that
on
for
for.
Black Twitter done killed it. Okay.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have.
They killed it.
But so we definitely have to mention it because it wouldn't be right if we did not. But I want to know, briefly your thoughts on it, and then I'll go into mine because I've already pretty much shared mine. But I want to go into what are your thoughts on it?
I've had several posts about it. Several posts, and I have been entangled. I've been the entanglee. I have been the entangler.
I'm gonna just eat a French fry on that. These are air fries, people. These were not fried in grease and oil, so I'm not being extra fat on camera. Go ahead.
I have been all of that, so I cannot judge Will's standpoint. I cannot judge Jada's standpoint and August Alcina's standpoint. What I will say is, what the masses have probably said already. So I'm not saying anything different from what they said, but yes, two broken people. Jada was trying to find herself. Generally, that's what people do. They flock to broken people. And then it's this thing that we do when we're broken people that we try to fix. Becomes our job to fix other people when we're broken ourselves. So I think that is what she did with someone that was 20 years her senior.
Junior.
And, junior. I'm sorry. She was 20 years his senior. And he caught feelings, rightfully so. And thought it was going to be more than what it was. And it wasn't. And being the Virgo that Jada is, she kind of spit him out and spit him up and shoot him out. And right now, Will and her have this bond that is like no other. And it is the bond like they did that little pact that they said, like regardless of whatever they do. Now, coupled with the fact that I'm kind of, I don't know why I'm not the color that I'm supposed to be right now. Do you see me?
I don't know what's happening here with that.
Okay.
All right, it's coming.
It's coming back. So, what I think also is that they made this pact that whatever they do, they gonna ride with each other. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying that's love, that's unconditional love, and it is.
Yeah.
It is for a fool. It's like no. but it is, it is, their pact or whatever. And she said, and nobody got that, but she was like, he said, I'm gonna get you back. And she said, you already did. But nobody's talking about that because it's like he did him too.
He been doing him. Can I just tag me in here? Just you let me.
Ahead.
Right, my turn. Okay, my turn. Oh, okay, good. As far as entanglement, in itself, it is what it is. Like, it's marriage, it's relationship. They're human. If they can deal with it and you can still stay with your partner, that ain't nobody else's business but yours.
Absolutely.
It is what it is. It's going to happen in some relationships. It may happen in some relationships more often than it happens in other relationships. You might have a few rare situations in some relationships where it doesn't happen at all. It is what it is. Every single one of us either have been or could be in any single one of those places, whether knowingly or unknowingly or willingly or unwillingly or whatever the case may be. This is my thing though. I'm riding with Jada because she a female, it's this, that, the other, bop, 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 bop. However, in a Me Too era, if Will was sleeping with one of Willow's friends that she brought to the house because she was sick and needed foundation, a support system, some kind of mental evaluation. And Will, in separation from Jada, took advantage of that situation as the older party that this young girl was looking up to. Would Will be able to make movies when the studios open back up?
No, he would not.
No, he would not.
No, he would
It
not be
would
able
be
to.
a wrap. He would be in the same category as Robert, as Jeffrey, as Bill, as every other black man and white man that has been a part of sex trafficking. Woody Allen was sleeping with his stepdaughter. All of the men that were listed, black, white, whatever, all of them, Will would then be in the same category as them, and we would have a hashtag cancel Will campaign. And as black people, it would have been, oh, I thought he was gay anyway, or oh, I thought he had an open marriage anyway. And now not only is he gay and got an open marriage, now he's sleeping with little girls too. And now he messed up this girl's life, and this is the part that you don't understand. And Tarana Burke would have been on the whole Me Too. Shout out to her. She would have been on a whole Me Too thing. They would have found the young lady, whoever she was. We'd have had a whole campaign around her name. Everybody would have been chanting how Will Smith is a piece of shit, and it would be a whole thing. But that's not the case right now.
Well, the verdict is still out. They probably made an also too movement. Not Me Too. It was like also Jada too. Movement. So yes. But what I do want to say to you, and I don't mean, I know women are probably going to kill me for comment. Just blame my brothers because I was raised by boys. But men have been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah. I agree.
A very long time. And we have actually made it more normal for men. Like, just recently, have we not labeled women cougars? Recently. It's more recent. The word cougar came out more recent, right?
Yeah.
Men generally have been doing this for a very long time. People grandparents got married when they was 12, 13, 15.
Yeah. 14 and 31 was, a good age difference, Back in the day, somebody's grandmother was 14 when she got married and her husband was 31, 32.
And we didn't calculate until we was like, how is they together for 60 years?
Yeah, you be like, Pop is, wait a minute now. What?
They've been together for 66 years and grandma's only 71. I mean, you trying to figure this out.
Right,
so
right.
I say that to say I'm not condoning. Just let me let me get this out first. I'm not condoning anything, but it is now more uncomfortable for men now. I have been in so many groups where men have literally like
they
go in.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Did we lose B? Norm? We are missing B for a second. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Let's see. Norm, if you're behind the scenes, let me know what's going on. But until she comes back, I will keep going with the conversation. What I believe she was going to say is, men have been doing this since the beginning of time, and that younger woman, older man thing clearly isn't nothing new. And to be honest with you, as a society, we haven't made it wrong until recently. We honestly haven't made it wrong until our lifetime now, the lifetime it is that we're living through now. Now it is frowned upon. And let's just be honest, when we first started hearing about Robert Kelly, how many believed or how many even cared? It wasn't until recently we had got into this particular century where it was a situation where it was, well, he's wrong for doing it. But when we all started hearing back in the 90s, and we all started hearing when he was sleeping with Aaliyah back then, either people didn't want to believe it, didn't care, or you just didn't think too much about it because, again, it was part of the norm. I have seen a lot of groups on social media with men who have been completely just disgusted by this whole Will and Jada situation. And it's always a double standard. Again, aside from, okay, B, I see you. Aside from the again, the entanglement part, aside from the part of I feel like he was a younger man who was coming to her for guidance, and she even said herself, he's like a son to me. At some point in time, she said that on the Red Table Talk because she did interview him just last year. So I'm a little bit confused as to how she said in that interview that they haven't spoken since all of this in the last 4 years, but you just had him in the show talking about mental illness last year. But whatever, that's not my business, and I ain't supposed to be the fact finder and all of this. But you said he was more like she said he was more like a son to her, and all the help that they were finding for him, mentally, medically, physically, all of that. So aside from that aspect of it, just the cheating part in itself, and I don't condone cheating. Let me be honest with you. I used to be one of the females that could potentially slash a tire. Now I've never done that. Just a disclaimer. But it ran through a couple times, and I did a few other things. So I don't condone cheating, but I know humans, and I know human nature, and I know relationships. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say again, I know there were a lot of men who were bashing this situation when, there's a lot of females, again, saying that you all have been doing this for years at a time. Too many situations, too many circumstances to list name from celebrities or that we have been through ourselves. Black men don't cheat. That's funny, Rajan. But you're right. A lot of men and women cheat mentally and physically as well. Again, you should be coming up soon, B. Like I said, outside of the cheating aspect of the relationship is really for them to deal with and them alone. My issue was with the fact that you had a young man come to you who was in essence looking for some sort of guidance, and he just so happened to get a little bit more than that. And it's like, did that mess him up even more? So if he was already going through it, did that part mess him up even more? I guess is my question. But again, and all of that is just in comparison, because my thing is, if it were Will who was sleeping with one of Willow's friends that she brought to the house for Help Foundation and all of that, would Will Smith as a African American, would he be canceled right now? I guess is my question. Queen B, I think we can hear you. We just can't see you yet. I'm sure Norm is behind the scenes. There you are. We got you back.
I'm back. Okay.
We got you back. Go ahead with your point. I was saying it, but go ahead with what your point was.
So no, I was saying that, men have been doing it for a really long time, and not that I'm condoning it. Not that I'm condoning it, but for whatever reason, I'm sorry. I'm just telling Jeff. Thank you. Not for anything. Men have been doing it for a really long time. Jada, I'm not saying she was right because honestly, I will say this, and because I've been in this situation before, you can mentor someone without sleeping with them. Let's just put it out there.
Of course.
You can mentor and be with someone without sleeping with them.
You probably should mentor people without sleeping with them.
You can build them up no, because what happens is you start developing. I understand how it genuinely happens. You start helping someone and you start developing feelings. I've been in situations like that. You start developing feelings and you generally become this person's whatever, and it leads to sex. It leads to sex. It leads to when you crying at night, they crying at night. Now they want to help you because you help them, and it's just this bond that is established because two broken people, right?
Yeah.
But she should have mentored this young boy.
Right.
She should have mentored it. Whatever he was looking for, he found inside of her. I didn't even mean to say it like that, but it just happened. It just so happens that it came out like that. My dad. That wasn't good, but I didn't say that on purpose.
Go ahead.
I say that to say, I mean, right now it's just like, yes, they got past it. Yes, they're going to judge. People are going to judge from the outside looking in. I'm sure they did not share every single thing that was going on or went on with August and Jada. I think she was very careful with her words. They were entangled. I love it. Thank you, Jada, for that, because I'm going to be entangled from now on. And the whole world is. But on the lighter side of things, no. If it was, I'm going to be honest with you, I have a 21-year-old son. I have a 21-year-old son, which I would not want anyone as seasoned as me, as old as me, trying to piece my son back together because they're broken, they're on drugs, or whatever you want to call it. Because at the end of the day, ultimately all you did was heal him for the moment, and you created something else inside of that young man.
Yeah, I mean, if he already had some kind of,
remember he was in ICU, like it was a lot of things wrong with him.
There was a lot going on with him. It was a lot medically going on with him, and it was a lot psychologically going on with him. That I remember even before all of this. And so that is my whole part of it is, again, not that the whole cheating, marriage, whatever, like I said, I don't condone that behavior, but it's up to that married couple to deal with. That's them. They good with it, they like it, I love it. You know what I mean? But my thing was, if it was Will and it was one of Willow's friends, would we be having the same conversation and would we be saying the same things? I'm gonna read Sarah. Shout out to Spring. I'm gonna read Sarah's comment here. She said, I just don't understand.
I was just commenting to her too.
Yeah, why does this have to be sorted out? She said, young men have fantasies of older women. No, I'm not talking about underage. I'm talking about over 21. I mean, from a legal perspective, is it legal? And is he a consenting adult? Right. Yeah, he is. From a moral perspective, when it's your child's friend that was supposed to be coming to you for help and a foundation,
who used to call you mom, and you used to call you mom as stepson, like something.
Right, and you're right. You know what I mean? I think I'm probably more sensitive to this subject because I had my son young. You know what I mean? I had my son young. So to be honest with you, it ain't a lot of years between me and my older son. Which means
it's only 20 between mine.
It ain't even 20 with mine. So if which means it ain't a lot of years between me and my son's friends either. You understand what I'm saying? So, but for me, that would be a complete and utter no-go.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And especially if I am from especially if I am from a place where they're looking at me as a mother figure and looking at me for help and assistance.
I
That whole
think
taking
that's the place. If
advantage
she
of
had
thing.
had, and to Spring's comment, if she had had not established that mothering in front of the world, because she did, like pictures and Instagrams and things like that, and it was my other son, my whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. And then
yeah.
at what point did you transition over to
Mother to lover.
mother to lover? Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, I think. Not the problem I have. I'm not going to say that's my problem because it's not in my backyard. It's not my problem.
No,
Clearly that was
but
Jada and Will's problem.
right.
It just wouldn't be mine because I would not have that. Clearly,
I mean, I think
Jada
it's
could get these hands. Is all I'm gonna say.
I think it's just that's my point in all of it. I think while everybody is looking at the whole, everybody's talking about the whole entanglement thing and everybody's focused on that and everybody's like, oh, look at Will's facial expression and everybody talking about, well, men do this, women do that, la 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 la. I think from my standpoint, I um I couldn't care any less about that
But
aspect of it
why
because
did everybody
that's that
miss the
people's
part?
marriage.
Why did everybody miss the part in him saying, he said, I'm gonna get you back. And she said, you already did. And she made that clear. Like, I'm mad that everybody didn't get that. Like, you missed
And then
that part.
and then when he said it again, because he did say it again, she was like, I feel like didn't she say something like, I feel like we've had enough of that or something?
Right.
So again, but that's their marriage. So whatever they choose to deal with, put up with, they already said ride or die, bad marriage for life. That's on them. That's them people's business. That's whatever. Just for the sake of this being a talk show and me commenting on it, the only thing that I would comment on the fact of she was supposed to be a mother figure to this young man who was brought in her house for help that she ended up sleeping with. And in doing so, if this were Will with one of Willow's friends, would we be looking at it the same way and would we be having the same conversation? That's my only, and that's, again, like I said, for the sake of the fact that, of course, we had to bring it up towards the end of the show after we got through the important stuff. The important stuff that we talked about in the beginning of the show with how everyone else is adjusting at this particular time. But
I just
yeah.
want to address, because Rajan has said black men don't cheat.
Yeah, I read that. I read that when you got lost on us.
Cheat. Yeah, I told a lot of women cheat mentally with their work husbands and friends, brothers, etc. Wow, this is deep. This is deep. This is deep, Rajan. Let me just say this. There are, and I just want to clear this up. Women cheat, men cheat.
Everybody, humans.
If you choose to, that's what you do. That's what you do. If that is who you are inside of a relationship, that is who you are, man or woman. I don't think that women cheat more than men. I don't think men cheat more than women. I think that if you have it in you to cheat and you're going to cheat, it just is what it is, right? I'm trying to tread lightly because I know they're about to come for me. I think we're better. I think we're better cheaters. We're better cheaters. We'll have a whole boyfriend and everything, and you won't know. So I think we're better.
I
cheaters.
won't, and I will not say that on this show either. But go ahead.
No. Let me just tell you, not that I have. Let's be real. Not that I have.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying to you is that we have the capabilities because we are better liars. Because we're thinkers. It's just our build and makeup.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm laughing at. We're better. We talk better. We think better. We got, our girlfriends. We're smarter.
We're smarter.
We're smarter. We don't gotta go for, we don't gotta go for sugar to the store. We brought the sugar already, put it in our car, and then when it came, to it, like when they say, did we go to the store? We say yes, and we have a whole grocery bag that's already in the car already.
We're smarter. It just is what it is. Yeah.
So, like I said, if she and she wasn't cheating. She wasn't cheating. They was broke up. He was done with her. She was done with him, and she decided to go and get that extracurricular D. That's just it.
I'm gonna go ahead and read Sarah's comment, and she was talking about, okay, let's say in the first year that this counseling session went on, it looked as if it was a motherly type situation, and then a year as he starts to get better, he starts to get the syndrome, the Florence Nightingale, which is real to some people, where they feel is down. It's no longer it's no longer you caring for me, but them wanting to love you in a different manner. I don't think wait, I lost it. What'd you say? I didn't think it could be starting a bit to know that it started off as one thing and ended up being something no one expected. Yeah, I believe clearly that's what happened. It started off as her, like, that's what Queen Bee was just talking about. It started off as a motherly figure, and then you start to have this connection, and then that connection that you have with them and that closeness that you have with them, the emotions and the feelings either A, begin to be misconstrued, or B, really is what it is, and then you really just have these different kind of feelings for that person, and then you guys go ahead and act on it. So, I truly believe that that's what happened. Again, even if that's what happened, I guess my point was, if it were Will and one of Willow's friends, would we be having this conversation? Would Will in the Black culture be canceled? Would he be sitting
canceled.
Would he be sitting next to Robert? Would it be, could we not play Summertime now since we can't play Step into Love at the cookout? Like, are we excluding that off the music list too? Like if it were Will Smith? Because at this point we ain't gonna have no music. We don't got no cookout music.
Well, I'm not gonna watch Kingdom Come, because Jada was in that, and that's one of my favorite movies. So I'm actually boycotting that myself. Well, I might not boycott the movie because I think the movie's hilarious, but I'm just gonna boycott her part. That's all.
Right.
Her part.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Because LL Cool J is in that movie, so
yes, he
is. The whole movie.
But LL Cool J has had, widely known entanglements too. So are we boycotting everybody?
He's never cheated on his wife. They've been together for like 20-something years.
He's never cheated on his wife?
No, LL, something's wrong with you. You wild out right now.
I'm sorry. Didn't he write a book?
And
where he discussed this himself? In fact, in said book, wasn't he talking about screwing a young lady backstage and then he looked down at her stomach and she was pregnant? You don't remember that? Okay, listen. All I'm saying is, if we are canceling everybody that has had entanglements in the Black culture, do we cancel Snoop too?
Oh, you reaching now. You think he cheated with Martha Stewart?
His wife literally just said, his wife literally just said, don't ask me the key of how the last 25 years, because I took him back after every single time he did something.
Well, DMX.
We canceling him too?
Well, they canceled him after Craig. So
don't talk about Earl like that.
No, that's Earl. You know that man is a man after my own heart. He Craig.
Don't talk about
boy,
Earl like that.
I don't even call him Earl. He's David to me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's
okay.
David.
Don't talk about Earl.
Earl had created some children outside the marriage as well.
So if it's just entanglements, again, we would have to cancel pretty much everybody in the entertainment industry. Not all, but from the ones that we know because they have discussed it themselves, not just speculation, there's still a lot of people we would have to cancel. But like I said, that was never my whole point in this. Anyway, my whole point in this was, if it were Will, what would be the case?
No, he would not have any type of anythings anymore. Now, he wouldn't have anything. He could have brought himself to the red table and they would have made it black table. That's just it.
So he'd have had a whole headstone next to Robert in the black community.
It would have been it, you know. Now
here lies Robert Kelly, here lies William Smith.
Understand something that they, believe me, they have put her in that category as well. They've put her in that category as well. And I mean, it is what it is. I think, you know, and I said this from the beginning, Toya, you know, in entertainment, I just feel like they have actually, they got like an Olivia Pope. They got Olivia Pope. I'm sure they went through what questions are going to be asked for the interview. They went through that, and their level, Will's level of comfortability or uncomfortability, for that matter, was also addressed. The memes are crazy because yes, he had some uncomfortability. No, he had some times where you could tell he was nervous, or he was just like reliving it or talking about it did something to his mental.
He said, Jada, what did you do? He said, but every time he said that, I was like, you know what?
And Jada, what did you do? No, because one, it was like, what did you do? And then it was, and what did you do? Like, almost like, what did you go out and do? Now, there's a zillion, you know, I heard that Will was entangled with men, you know.
I said that.
You know, so.
I said that. I said that. Again, if we're strictly talking about entanglements, that is between that man and that woman. That is nobody else's business. If they choose,
and I will say, a marriage, and you know how we do, just in our friendship code, most part, we are pretty much like that. Your marriage is your marriage, and we try not to infringe on that. Your marriage is your marriage, and how y'all handle things is how y'all handle it. If you want to forgive 800 times, I'm going to respect. That's your decision. I might not understand it, but as a friend, I'm going to respect it, and that is just it. It's nothing. When you know what I feel like, and I know that I do this with my friends. The moment that someone says, you know, they be like, he cheated, he did this, that, and other. And the moment that someone says, but I love him, what can you say after that?
Nothing. It's not your business.
What can you literally say after that? You can't say anything. You can't say anything. That's just it. Because their heart is entangled. That means it's just not their mental. It's the physical part.
Yeah.
It's the physical. And you are not getting into, you're never going to win.
Mm-mm.
You're never going to win.
You got to let that person live their life, do what they need to do. And at the end of the day, if you're a true friend, all you can do is be there for them, no matter what happens on the other side of it. That's it. You can be there. You don't lose friendships because your friends are going through stuff. You know what I mean? But we established those rules as friends years ago. So that ain't our issue in our clique of friends, whereas she's stupid for this, she's stupid for that. And and you have females that ain't friends no more because of you done involved yourself in somebody else's relationship. I don't care if that's your friend or not. Like, that's just, it's not your business. I don't care what you tell you. It ain't your business to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Now, if life is in jeopardy and somebody over there knocking her head off on a weekly basis, outside of that, she choose to deal with it. Y'all can have the conversation all you want, and we do have the conversations. But if she chooses to deal with, ain't nothing you can do about that. If somebody say that that's what they want, So, but I'm saying that now I'm tying all of it in together, because a part of the first part of our conversation was just attitudes and actions changing towards your sister and towards your brother. So if you 40, 50 years old, still going through friendships because the people that you are befriending aren't doing what you want them to do, or aren't acting how you want them to act, or you're not able to control their decision making, and you are in turn writing people off because of that, or you are being judgmental because of that, or you are intentionally just doing things with ill will and ill intention because of that. It's like, yo, that shit gotta change. Like, we in a whole different world now.
That's a whole word for this year. Make sure your intentions are pure. Make sure your intent is pure in every way. Again, marriages go through ups and downs, and I never understood until I understood why people take people back when they cheat. I never understood why until I understood. You get my point? I never understood.
I'm divorced. I don't,
that why people did anything remotely close to whatever they did,
Right.
When it comes to matters of the heart, you can't fight with that.
When it comes to matters of the heart, you can't stand in judgment.
No, you cannot.
You can't stand in judgment of somebody else. The people are going to go through what they need to go through, and that's on them. That is not on you. All you can do is mind your own business and run your household. Right, and run your household how you see fit. I guarantee you that ain't going to be perfect either.
But I understand why it was a little hard for Jada, because I saw August Alsina in his little pictures.
You know what? It's almost 8:30, so it's almost 8:30.
I just want.
We're not doing this.
I got a whole. I didn't understand till I understood.
I got a whole sandwich sitting here that I gotta eat. It's 8:30. And I'm not messing with you. With that young boy.
Just saying. I hope he seeks counseling though, because Virgos tend to jack you up. So I hope that I hope that he seeks counseling, and I hope that I do.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, seriously, hopefully he is getting the help he needs, and hopefully his help won't turn into any kind of toxic help or turn into any other kind of relationships, for right now, you know what I mean? But as for them and their marriage, child, bye. Next. Next. In the meantime, though, we are coming to the end of our show. And like I said, more importantly, other than Will and Jada, because they gonna live and be fine and do what they do. we were just talking about how we are getting through, just being really real and really transparent on how we are getting through this time period. Because again, I know you hear it all the time on the news, you see it on CNN, or whatever it is you listen to, or even just feeling it yourself. We are in unprecedented times. We are in the middle of history, the little bit of history that they allowed us to learn about ourselves as people, and the history that we learned about in social studies class in school. We are now living through it. We are now in the middle of it. This will be in the textbooks for centuries to come, as long as the world lasts. We are in the middle of a new civil rights movement that we will be discussing. We were in the middle of the pandemic that will be discussed, economically, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationships, families, all of that. We all are experiencing at one time. And so it is just really imperative that you do what you can to maintain mentally. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of your brothers and sisters. Please take care of your families. Do what you can for you and for those that you have to take care of. It is no longer a choice. If you need counseling, it is no longer a choice. Where Black people, we have that stigma that we don't go to counseling. It is not a choice anymore. It is a necessity that you have to talk to somebody about something and just get things out. And I pray that we can do that and heal as a nation and heal as a people, amongst other things. But right now, it's just trying to maintain. So whatever you need to do that at this time period, please do so. Those are just some of my final thoughts. Queen B, what's yours?
Keep on loving, living, breathing, stay healthy, guys. Just want to say my love to all. I pray that we get through this and we are better because of it as a human race, That's just it.
You're right. I was just reading Sarah's thing about and making sure we're taking care of the children in the midst of all of this too, because they are just as confused as we are, and that is imperative. Again, for everybody who watched tonight, for everybody who listened tonight, for everybody who had some comments tonight, thank you so much, Rajan. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you so much, Rodney. Anybody that I missed, I do apologize. Jason, for all of those that were in our comments, in our chats throughout the entire evening, thank you guys so much for doing that. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in week after week after week and rocking out with us. We will be continuing to do this whether we are at home and in the studio. And everybody take care of yourselves and stay up.
Right.
That's all I do.
See you guys.
We love you guys.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
All that, what she just said. All right, Norm, take us away. Take us away.